thank you all for taking your weekend and doing something which I wish more tennis providers would do, and that's gaining more education into their craft, into their coaching. Some of the things here, if we don't have enough of the handouts, let me know and I can email you guys the information after we're done here. I do have business cards. I'm not sure if I brought enough. I kind of grabbed as many as what we had this morning, and our numbers kept on growing as the day kept on getting longer. Presentations, high school tennis drills. Like Coach Denise said before, like Don Turner said before, you're going to have a various range of players. Last year was my first year of coaching high school tennis down here in Florida. I'm originally from southern Indiana, and things are quite different in every state you go to. As far as the format, the involvement with the players. When I was up in Indiana, the kids that I mostly worked with on the high school team were all tournament players. One year, we had a state champion from that team. The next year, the team won the state championship. And then the next year, we had our number one doubles team won the state championship in the state of Indiana. And then I moved down here not too long ago. Why drills fail? It's our duty as the coach to be able to facilitate the drill properly. And there's 6 really important things that I think really need to go into every drill. And if you're lacking on some or most of those things, that's why the drill's not going to go well. I don't know if we've talked or not about the colored balls. Can I raise a hand? Who uses multicolored balls, red ball, orange ball, green ball, yellow ball in their programs? Okay? If you don't, it's a really good way to get your beginner players and your players that have been playing for multiple years on the same level. I can get on when I do my cardio clinics and when I do my we haven't started team practice yet this year, but I can get a 3-0 and a 4-0 and even a 4-5 on the court together playing points with orange ball, and their levels are minimized. They're evened out, as you say. So if you're not using the balls as a tool, also they last longer. They're not compressed air in there, so you can go and have balls last for a year, whereas we're changing out tennis balls every 2 months or so if we're hitting them on a regular basis. So that's a good idea for your teams. Those 6 things that I was talking about. Fun. Seriously, who wants to do a drill if it's not fun? Retention's huge. You may have 12 kids come out for practice on the first day of practice, and 6 of them may not even know how to hold a tennis racket, and they come out there like this, trying to hit a ball. That's, not very often, but last year I had 17 boys and girls on my tennis team, and 5 of them had no experience whatsoever. I'm not going to cut those kids. Raise your hand if you're a part of the no cut with the USTA. If you've registered your team with the no cut. If you haven't, please do so. And then contact Thad Hawks with the USTA. He's here in Daytona. And you'll get a packet of information from the USTA with different information about how to run no cut. And it's really great because who knows if that freshman or sophomore that you're cutting from your team may end up playing 1 or 2 singles your senior year because you have drop-off and kids are moving out of the area and whatnot. And now just to even have 5 kids on your team, you're going to need those kids that you cut 3 years ago. Okay, so no cut is huge. Also, tennis is a lifetime sport. So why would you want to tell some kid who's 13, 14 years old they suck at tennis and then turn them away for the next 80 years? That's something as coaches we need to do. We need to have things where we're getting these kids involved. as me as a pro, after you're done with them coaching, I want them to come to me for lessons. Okay. So the first thing is fun. We've got to make sure that there's some sort of fun element to the drills. If we come out here and we're just leaning on the basket and we're like, oh, okay, go hit the ball. Yeah, good job. Yeah, they're not going to do that. You've got to bring the energy and you've got to bring the intensity and enthusiasm to the court. And so if you're just standing here like this, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, go down there and play a set. That's not going to work for your kids. They're going to read right through you. Kids today are smart. They know when you're being genuine and they know when you're putting on a facade. Okay? Be real with the kids. They want, be real, 100. Fast. Raise your hand if you've seen kids stand in a line with 10 kids and you've got the pro over there on the other side with the bucket and you hit one there, one there, one there. Well, little Bobby's in the back there picking flowers off the back of the clay court or whatever. The other kid's picking his nose. The other kid's punching his brother in the face. You don't need that. These kids need to be pumped up. They need to keep everything going. So they've got to be fast. The fundamental aspect. Every drill needs to have something where you're working on fundamentals, whether it's hitting the ball cross court, working on ground strokes, volleys, approach shots, lobs, overheads, whatever it is, there needs to be some sort of fundamental aspect to the drill that you can refer back to. Footwork. Footwork is the most underrated aspect in tennis outside of the service toss. If you cannot get to the ball, you cannot hit the ball. If you are off balance while you're hitting the ball, your shot's not going to go where it wants to. Okay? And over the course of evolution of tennis, we're going more and more open stance with a lot of these shots. I'm a big, firm believer that if it's in the middle half of the court, you probably need to be stepping into that shot. Okay? And that all goes to footwork. If you're on the outside half, we're all smart here, so if you divide the court into quarters, these two here, it's going to be in the middle half, the outside half is going to be on the other side. If you're out there and you're unable to, and you do this, and then you come off, and then you take 2 more 3 steps, then you're 2 or 3 steps away from recovery, and you're going to be late for your next shot, and you're going to get passed down the line or cross court there. Fitness. Kids don't like to run sprints. Adults don't like to run sprints. Except for Carl, no one likes to run sprints. Okay? But if you can add some sort of fitness thing to it where you've got to get to that ball, they'll chase after a ball. But they hate doing suicides. They hate, run 3 laps to start to practice. They do not want to do that. And that's another thing is retention. You've got to give them a little bit of what they want to keep them coming back. If you don't, then they're going to quit the team, and next thing you know, you're going to be down to 3 players, and you're going to have to forfeit 3 spots. And it's really hard to win a match when you're forfeiting 3 spots. Focus. We've got to stay on task. Staying on task. Raise your hand if you've got that kid that knows how to unfocus a practice. They come in and they get their practice. You come into practice and you get everything going. You get the warm up going, and then next thing you know, they're talking about their date that they're going to have later that day, or what they had for lunch, and you totally lose fact of we're actually hitting a tennis ball, and our focus needs to be the little yellow fuzzy thing there. So of those 6 things, fast, fun, fundamental, footwork, fitness, and focus, if you can incorporate all those elements to your drills, you're going to have good drills that people are going to want to do more. Don talked about this just briefly before me, and I'm glad he did a little bit. But the volley. I know we're in Florida. A lot of us play on clay courts. If they're taking lessons, they're playing on clay. So primarily, the only time that they come up to the net is to spin the racket and then shake hands at the end of the match. Okay? You got to get them comfortable up there. If they're not comfortable at the net, then they're never going to go there. and then they're losing out on over half of the court where they can put away the point. Okay? My take on volleys, if you can't volley, it's like you can't hit a layup in basketball. You're going to get pulled off the team. If you can't make that 2-foot layup, then who says you're going to make that 20-foot three-pointer every single time? I know with the addition of 10 and under tennis, there's a lot of emphasis on rallying, but we also have to get the kids learning how to volley too, because that's over half the court. Anything inside that service line where the ball is going to be taken out of the air, it's going to be a way that we can create some angles and put away the point, especially in doubles. Doubles right now in Florida, it's worth 2 matches, 2 points that you can get. Doubles, you got one kid at the net, one kid back. Hopefully that kid that's back makes his way to the net to get 2 up there. And if they can't volley, you're throwing away 3 points. The other kids are going to be crafty and hit some drop shots, pull them short, pull it to the net, and then they're going to do whatever they want there because the kids aren't going to be coming. Okay? That's the next thing is the triple triangle position. The triple triangle position is my take on the ready position. If you talk about any sport, football, baseball, basketball, the ready position's always here. The bad thing is if you're here in tennis, you're going to get hit in the face with the ball. Okay, you got to keep that racket up. You got to keep that racket out in front of you. So the 3 positions of the triple triangle. The first one is your eyes. You've got to be able to see it, but you've got to keep that racket head up, eye high. The tip of the racket. And then the third one is going to be your hands. So if you notice, tip of the racket, racket handle, and eyes, that makes a triangle. Does everyone see that there? The next triangle is going to be your hands in the racket, your left shoulder and your right shoulder. Okay? That's going to keep you connected. You get a volley hit at you. A lot of times the first thing they want to do is this. Well, guess what? I can't see my racket anymore. Okay? You want to keep you want to get that racket take back from a shoulder hip turn. Okay? That way I can see my racket's in position, and I'm watching myself hit the ball. The third thing, center of gravity, left foot and right foot. If my feet are together like this, I'm like a skyscraper. But if I can widen out my base, I'm going to be more like a pyramid. Pyramids are more stable. Why? Bigger base. Bigger base. So when the ball comes to me, that's another thing, the lost art of footwork. So many people said, you don't need to move your feet while you're hitting volleys. Yeah, that's right. Then you won't have any reach when you get passed down the line or passed cross court. Okay? If you can step to that ball, that's going to put me in a good position to hit a volley. And I'm pretty stable. I can stay here for a long period of time. Okay? But if you look at my feet, I've got a triangle with my feet, my center of my gravity. I've still got my racket head up above eye high. I've got my this triangle here, and my racket's still in the middle of my body. Okay, my other hand's going to come off for balance. And that goes for the same thing with that backhand volley too. That offhand's going to be for balance. So that's the triple triangle. Does anyone have any questions on that? No? So I either explained it very well, or you guys are just shy and quiet.
It's all about the base.
It's all about the base. No trouble. Being able to control the pace of practice. Like I said before, you got a line of 10 kids. You're on the other side of the net, you're feeding a ball. That's a slow pace. That's not fast. We're not getting that intensity that we want out of the practice. Kids are going to lose interest. They're not hitting as many balls as we can. So that's one thing that we really need to work on is how to be able to control the pace of practice. The next thing is, and this is works integrated, I can feed a lot more balls being here to the player than I can if I'm on the other side of the net. Hand tossing is something that we don't utilize enough. When they play a match, they're not going to get a ball that's fed like this to them. But we feed that way anyway. Okay? If we go ahead and toss them a ball, we're working on footwork. We can say, instead of yelling at them across the other side of the court, follow through higher. You're now follow through higher. It's a lot less demanding on the kid. So the question here is, I actually wrote the question here. The coach's back is to the net and is facing the player on the baseline. When hand feeding, the coach should toss the ball. What hand should the coach toss the ball with when feeding a right-handed player a forehand? Okay, you're going to toss that ball with your left hand. You may even want to step with your left foot as you toss that ball. If I'm going to give that right-handed player a backhand, I'm going to toss it with my right. If we have problems tossing balls with our left hand, I would hate to see your serve. Okay? You should be, it's just, we're tossing a 2.3-ounce yellow fuzzy thing 5-10 feet away from us. It's not that hard. Just give it a little off, and we'll actually go through this here in a second. So that's going to get to this presentation is on drills. So what we're going to do is let me get 6 volunteers. Any 6. And let me have 2 on the baseline here, and let me have 4 behind them. You're not going to be able to find this information that I gave you on the internet because it's my own stuff, at least not yet. I'm actually working on putting together some articles for baselines, which is the USPTA publication here in Florida. And then some of these, like the 6Fs, may go into Advantage Magazine, which is the USPTA national publication. So they're not there yet, but hopefully within the next 6 months to a year, they will be. That's one of my personal goals. So we're going to have 6 players here. For time's sake, I'm not going to learn your names. Okay? But normally I would say your names while you're hitting it because it gives it a little bit more personal feel to it. It doesn't make you feel like you're just someone in a line. Okay, so let me have you start here, and let me have you start here. Okay, you guys are going to hit 3 balls, and then you're going to rotate. So you're going to switch lines. Okay, so after you hit each ball, I need you to recover. Okay, so the first one's going to be here. You're going to hit that forehand, recover. You're going to hit your backhand, recover, forehand, recover, backhand, and then recover. Good. Forehand, recover, backhand, recover. Then next people up. We're going to go through a little faster here. So forehand, backhand. I like to call this the windshield wiper drill because when you have windshield wipers, you have them moving back and forth. Just like, oh, recover, finish, finish. I'm just giving you a hard time. Come back to the middle after each one. Come back to the middle after each one. Here we go. We got our forehand. We got our backhand. Forehand. Backhand. Forehand. Backhand. Next up. Okay. Now your waiting time has reduced in half if you had 6 people in the line. Okay? So let's go through it again. Forehand. Backhand. Forehand. Backhand. Forehand. And then backhand. Okay. That's a good way to get warmed up. You guys are now moving, and now when it's time for you to hit again, you're ready to go. Okay? The average pace, the average length of a tennis point is somewhere between 5 to 10 seconds. The average rest time in between points is somewhere between 15 to 20 seconds. So that is a 1 to 3 ratio. What do we have here? 1 to 3 ratio. Okay? You want to coach like how they're going to play. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on, I call this the out, up, and absorb. So you guys may want to scoot just a little bit back. They come in together. Coming together. So the first one that we have here is we're going to start here and we're going to go out. When we go out, I want to go up with the follow through. Okay? The higher you go with your follow through, the the higher the trajectory of the ball is going to go over the net. Okay? The more out you go with your follow-through, the more flat the ball is going to go, and the lower it's going to go over the net. So that's going to be the second one. You're going to get pulled up, and you're going to go more out, and then you're going to recover. The third one is absorb, and we're going to go back. So as I get that ball, I'm going to go back, and I'm really going to come back up high, and then I'm going to come back to my recovery spot. Okay? So now we're working on 3 different angles that we're hitting the ball from, and we're going to rotate around. Okay, you guys ready? So we've got the out, we've got the out, we've got the up, we've got the up, we've got the absorb, we've got the absorb. And recover back to the middle. There we go, good. So we've got out, out, cover, up, up. We've got absorb, roll back. Now, on that absorb ball, if I toss the ball back past the baseline, you may have a kid say, oh, your toss was out. I don't care, I'm pushing you back. Go ahead and toss that ball on the other side of the baseline. What are they going to do whenever they get a high, heavy ball hit to them? Are they going to stay on the baseline, or are they going to move back a little bit? Hopefully they move back a little bit. Here we go, so we're going to go out, out. We're going to go up, we're going to come up. Good. And then we're going to absorb, we're going to absorb. Good. Last rotation here. Oh, we're already back here. Okay. So you guys got the basic gist of that one, right? Yeah? Okay. The next one we have is go game. So real quick, let me have everyone pick up balls just really quick. I only had a case here. Real quick pickup. 4 of you over on the other side. You guys are going to be our challengers. And we're going to have 2 here on the baseline. You 2 here on the baseline are going to be our champions. So congratulations. You already won.
So what's the challenge? I'd like to
Okay. I like to use a high BPM. That way it gets the energy going. A lot of techno house music. That way I don't offend anyone with improper words that may come on the song, because you never know how parents are. Okay, so the first ball I'm going to give you is going to be an approach shot. If you win that, you're going to come up to the net. Well, you should come up to the net anyway because it's an approach shot. If you win that point, you're going to get a volley. If you win that point, you're going to get an overhead. You win all 3, you have 3 seconds to come over there, take their spot, next group on. At any time you lose the point, you're going to rotate around. Okay? Here's what we're working on. We're working on net play. We're working on attacking on this side. We're working on defending over here. So we're going to be fast. We've got our fundamental plan. You guys ready? So we got our approach shot. Play out the point. Oh, it's good. Next up. Here we go. Oh, she played it. She saved you. Oh, next up. Here we go. I'm going to feed that ball as they're coming off. Oh, we're going to go around again. Here, now they're not waiting in between points. And this is where the fast comes into play. And my job as a coach, oh, you got the volley. My job as the coach is to make sure that these drills are running to the intensity and the speed that I need to. All right, that's out. Next up. It's deep volley. It's good, overhead. Oh, don't let it bounce. Don't let it bounce. Look what you did. You only lost the point. You gave him more time to hit the... I'm glad I got that on camera. Here we go. Short ball. Look, we're laughing. We're having fun. This is going to be a successful. That's out. Next up, rotate. Rotate. Initial shot was out. No, they lost. This ball was out. Here we go. Next up. The best thing about drills is you're hitting multiple times with one ball, so there's going to be less pickup. Rotate. Great shot. I should have put you over on the challenger side.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now here's the thing. We're going to work on footwork and fundamentals. Why are you going back?
I hadn't recovered.
Move forward.
I thought I hit it out. I did. I thought I hit it out.
It's not out till they call it out. Even if the ball's this feet out, if they don't call it out, it's still in. Here we go. Oh, it's good. It's good. Next up. Now, with this drill, I can teach double strategy about shifting over to the ball. I can do all sorts of things. That's out, volley. That's good. Here we go. Next up. It's good. It's good. Next up. Play it. Here we go. Volley. Oh, double bounce. Overhead. Oh, it's fine. Now, go ahead and switch sides. Every time you lose, go ahead and switch sides. Go and rotate real quick. Go ahead and switch over. Here we go. Good one. Here we go. Volley. Oh, stay up there. It's a volley. Rotate. Rotate. Heads up. Volley. Here we go. Relax that grip. Here we go. Short ball. Here, volley. Go. Get her before she turns away. Oh, next up. Next up. Oh, those hands are real. Jeez. Do you put moisturizer on there like 100 times a day to get them that soft?
Listen, when you get to be my age, you gotta get everything you can.
Here we go. Volley. Oh, she got it. Overhead. Oh, no. We had our chance. Here we go. Last time through here. Oh, it's good. All right, guys. Give everyone a high five real quick. Good job. Guys, you just lost to 2 girls. No problem. You did it yourself. Here we go. The next drill. That was go game. The next drill is going to be touch the net. So real quick, let me get a quick ball pick up here at the net. Quick ball pick up here at the net.